This is a presentation on Alex Jones, the most infamous journalist alive, presented by Tristin Emmons, Luke Owen, and Jovan Gutierrez.
Hi, my name is Jovan, and my section will be on the beginning of Alex Jones's career. Jones's starting line as a conspiracy theorist that we all know today sprouted forward in the 90s in Texas when he started his broadcasting at ACA TV. Even in his early stages of life, he still talked a lot of nonsense without much to back it up, and didn't stop to give facts, truths, or common sense a thought. At first, to the people around that he worked with, it was amusing. Then they realized that it wasn't him just being on camera. That's who Alex Jones was on and off camera. There was no difference. He was the same lunatic through and through. He started to bring on an audience, and some people actually gave him some form of credibility. The secret to him getting people to listen to his foolishness was through his yelling. Donald Trump and Alex Jones have an interesting relationship. Donald Trump was a particular fan of Alex Jones's wild theories, especially the ones referring to Barack Obama's birthplace and that millions of illegal immigrants had voted at the 2016 election. In a radio review in 2015, Trump had told Jones he had an amazing reputation, and Jones responded, and I quote, "What you're doing is epic. It's George Washington level." A lot of Alex Jones' theories are pretty wild to say the least. You hear a lot about them in the coming slides, but a bit of insight on what a few of them are includes stating that the Oklahoma bombing of 1995, the 9/11 attack, the Sandy Hook shooting, and the shooting in Parkland, Florida on Valentine's Day in 2018 were all government hoaxes. Alex Jones's ex-wife never really got the credit she deserved for the work she put in for his career. Her name was Kelly Nichols, and she got Jones started on the internet. She got him TV attention and also became the webmaster of InfoWars, the conspiracy theory website run by Alex Jones himself.
Hello, my name is Luke Owen, and today I will be talking about Alex Jones and his major career steps. In the year 1996, Alex Jones made his switch to radio and became the host of a show named The Final Edition, where he would voice his political opinion on a variety of different topics. This is where Jones dropped his first conspiracy theorist bombshell on the world. Jones was convinced that the Oklahoma City bombing of 1995 was set up by the government in order to control the people. These types of theories are now what Jones is infamous for. In 2000, Alex Jones ran for state representative in Texas, saying that he was going to become a quote-unquote watchdog from the inside. He later dropped out of the race, but this only drew more eyes to him and his crazy theories. In 2001, Jones began another conspiracy movement known as the 9/11 Truthers. This theory stated that George Bush, the president at the time, was behind the attacks. Obviously, these words and rumors can be incredibly painful to the victims and the families of the victims to hear. Jones stepped it up another notch in 2012 when he claimed that the Sandy Hook shooting was fake and that nobody died in Sandy Hook. Because of his spreading of this misinformation, the parents of the kids who had died were forced to file a lawsuit against Jones before they could get him to admit it was real and stop spreading lies. Because of Jones' reputation, he has essentially been deplatformed. Social media companies such as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Spotify have banned Alex Jones from creating accounts on their platforms. However, he seems to be quite a hot guest to have on podcasts, making appearances on some of the most popular podcasts, such as The Joe Rogan Experience and more recently, Flagrant 2. These podcasts receive a lot of attention for having Alex Jones on as a guest, but at the same time, they also receive a lot of backlash. Alex Jones now reaches out to his audience on a website known as Infowars.com. This is where he has all of his news articles, very similar to a CNN or Fox website. On this website, he has a link to another website called band.video. There you will find videos, much like ones on YouTube, that are produced by him and his employees. He posts these videos to this website because it's the only place they won't be taken down. Alex Jones has become one of the most recognizable faces in journalism for all the wrong reasons. His infamy will not go unnoticed in history classes of the future.
Hello, I'm Tristin Emmons, and I'm here to talk about Alex Jones' major accomplishments in journalism and his impact on journalism as a whole.
Hello, I'm Tristin Emmons, here to talk about Alex Jones's major accomplishments and impact on journalism as a whole. To put it bluntly, Alex Jones's major accomplishments in his journalistic career is his legacy as the InfoWars conspiracy theorist. He's the most popular conspiracy theorist to date, receiving approximately 10 million monthly visits to InfoWars and accruing $20 million a year. His step into prominence started in 2012 after the Sandy Hook massacre. As mentioned previously, Jones touted the idea that the entire thing was a hoax to force gun restrictions, stating,
Sandy Hook is a synthetic, completely fake, with actors, in my view, manufactured. I couldn't believe it at first.
and
People just instinctively know that there's a lot of fraud going on. But it took me about a year with Sandy Hook to come to grips with the fact that the whole thing was fake. I mean, even I couldn't believe it. I knew they jumped on it, used the crisis, hyped it up, but then I did deep research, and my gosh, it just pretty much didn't happen.
after this, 8 families affected by the tragedy sued for emotional damages, but followers of Jones's news started to harass the family, showing a glimpse of the dangerous power this notable conspiracy theorist holds. The thing that made Jones most popular, though, was when a clip of him saying his most famous quote went viral.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Stating with no scientific backing that the chemicals, i.e. chlorine, put in water to kill harmful bacteria, is socially engineering people into becoming gay, while runoffs are affecting the frogs. This absurdity, along with meaning of this quote, helped Alex Jones become even more notable, bolstering both the people laughing at him and those who believe and spread his message. Other notable conspiracies that he peddled are that the government has weather weapons, Hillary Clinton runs a human trafficking ring under a pizza parlor, and that he was a prominent speaker in the Lafayette Park right before the January 6th storming of the Capitol building. Alex Jones has built his entire career off these wild ramblings and dangerous conspiracies, accumulating lots of press and attention due to their outlandish nature. Even though Jones has been restricted from most social platforms, he still has a fervent cult following. Because of this infamy and his devout audience and the tie in internet meme culture, this era of journalism will always have hints of Jones's dangerous conspiracies damaging our journalistic integrity.